So, alright fellas, here we're back with pokemonmasters. We got ourselves the ultimate battle versus Dana. What is this fight? This fight is infinitely worse than, like, Nita, who I think is considered the hardest, at least of some area. Harder than the Master Royal, I would say. Nimona literally just needs Psychic Terrain. I don't think she's actually that tough, unless you don't have Psychic Terrain. But, like, I don't think she even begins to compare to any of these other ultimate battles in terms of how difficult she is. This fight has too many gimmicks. Like, I know we probably say this every time a new hardest ultimate battle releases. I'm pretty sure people were saying it when Nita came out, right? But this fight, what? This fight needs 3 sets of steel, not steel zone, but any zone, at least 1 set of a weather effect that isn't hail. You need to have accuracy buffs and be completely immune to accuracy debuffs in that same regard. What else even is there? She's got 900,000 HP. Steel and Rock weak, not just Steel weak. What? Who designed this stage? Because this is nuts. I use this team. This is the team that I used. We'll go into a bit more detail once it actually starts, but like this fight is insane. I don't really see a lot of worlds where you beat this without one of the big characters, because again, your team is extremely limited. You need a character that cannot miss. Rather, you need either all your characters to be unable to miss, or have at least 2 of them be unable to miss, and, you know, in this case, Giovanni, who doesn't use an attacking move the whole battle. Because if you use an attack move and you miss, she heals. She heals 10%, 20% of her HP, which is, if you do math, 20%. What is 20% of 900? That's 180,000 health, 200,000 health, basically, because she's got over 900,000 health that she recovers if you miss any moves. What? Who designed that? Not only does she have accuracy debuffs for you to worry about, she has evasion buffs. Every move. What? Who designed this stage, man? It actually baffles my mind who thought that this stage was like a good game design, man. It's rough. If you don't have Cynthia, or at least, you know, Steven, hell, I can't think of many teams that could actually realistically beat this with all of its, like, prerequisites. Like, again, 1 weather setter is fine. Like, there's a lot of characters that can just set weather once, and then you're, like, good to go for the rest of the battle. Because I think the way she works is her sides have hail, but I think they only set hail once the middle is defeated, so you just gotta worry about beating the sides right. But there's also many issues that could come with that, such as Dana hitting pretty hard anyway. Like, Steven's literally the best tank in the game, right? So, obviously, there was a lot of good support there. Plus, Giovanni. I mean, I literally used 2 of the literal best supports in the game in order to actually beat this, with even Steven as our main damage dealer, literally, because he's got the type advantage, right? It's actually crazy. I guess let's just hop into the battle. We can see why it's so bad, but I'm going to say, in my opinion, I'm not going to start trying to speak on everyone else, because maybe everyone else is realizing strategies. I don't know, but I would say this is just the hardest fight in the game, hardest ultimate battle at the very least. It's terrible, man. It is that bad. If you can't beat it, I can understand that. Whatever, enough of the talk about it. Let's just hop into the fight, I guess. I can't believe this is a fight they really decided to make with all of everything it entails. So, first, starting out, she says Hail and Ice Zone on entry. So you've got to get rid of both. Otherwise, she heals. She takes reduced damage by 90%. Again, you've got Healing Hail. Healing Hail 2, no less. That restores her by... No, my god, 100, that's too much HP. How about that? Too much HP. 140,000 or something like that. It basically recovers her 130,000. It's way too much. So you gotta get rid of it. Right, gotta get rid of both. She's also got crit protection, I believe. It's either under Hail or Ice Zone. I don't remember which one. It's just gonna be really fun to deal with. I can't even collect all my thoughts on this stage just because of how rough it is. Obviously, double weakness isn't fun, though it's not really that big of a deal. Though it is the one that sets the zone, or has the crit protection on the zone, rather, that actually has the rock weakness instead of the steel weakness, so that's fun. I think it's the Abomasnow that has Hail, but it'll only use it, I believe, after the middle has been KO'd, but obviously it hasn't. So you're actually not really having to worry about it too much, usually, because you can just do either single out the Abomasnow, or you can just use your strikers, right? They'll naturally go down before the middle, or around when the middle goes down. Similar case, it's not that big of a deal. And also at 80% HP, Dana sets another set of Ice Zone, and again, you've got damage reduction to deal with there, and obviously her boosted moves, like the basic effect of Ice Zone, you know, it's not even the worst thing it's got, right? It's so bad, it's terrible. Which is why I brought Giovanni, not only because of his amazing ability to redirect damage onto himself, instead of having, like, Cynthia take it, all these, like, super effective ice attacks, we can have Giovanni take them, in like the case of the sync move here, and also he can set the dark zone here at this interval, where I could set, of course, Cynthia again with her ground zone and do some good damage here in the middle of the battle. I wanted to wait until she got Dana got down to 30% HP, so we could deal a ton of damage then. Obviously, the sync move up next that Giovanni is providing is super helpful. The flinches would be good if they were more properly timed, but I honestly was just trying to focus on getting as much damage in as possible, less so trying to actually manage like flinching and time, Q time or whatever, because you usually, for the most part on this fight, you do have enough HP to really work with, and like recovery to really work with stalling the enemy more so than anything. This setup specifically just because of how good Steven and Giovanni are, which is obviously why it's not an impressive clear. Not trying to say it is, just because obviously like these are master pairs and arc suit sync pairs. Like but at the same time, this fight is super difficult without it. You really want to just preserve Giovanni's take move all effect here for whenever Dana sinks. That's the best way to do it, frankly. That will help you the best. So, like, the blizzards do hurt, but you can also opt to run Ice Guard on Cynthia if really need be. I ran Vigilance. I don't actually remember she's got innate crit protection because of all the thousand effects that our suit sync pairs have, but either way, I gave her Vigilance to protect from the sync crits because Dana does buff her crit on the second sync move here, so that is something just to deal with. Cynthia's sync move is still pretty strong, even without having the effect of the sand being up in ground zone. I mean, it's still definitely doing enough damage, especially when she mega evolves, right? That's going to help out the damage a ton as well. Could go for Steven's sync move otherwise, but not that big of a deal. Would have been within my best interest to have timed a different moment better, and we'll get into that as it happens, but obviously you can see the problem here. It doesn't seem like Dana actually buffs her evasion. I thought she did. Whoops, whatever, I guess, but she does debuff your accuracy. You really got to mitigate that. Acuity is a lucky skill, would be really good. Maybe I could try that Anniversary Skyla team I was thinking about, but not even really going to worry about it. Hell no, it's so rough, man. That's actually so rough. Yeah, thankfully Giovanni obviously taking the same moves very nice. Cynthia doesn't have to worry about taking all that extra damage. You know, that ice weakness really does hurt her a lot. Went for Steven's sync move. Did not expect it. You'll see it, but did not expect it to actually bring Dana down. Even though, I mean, I should have. Sync move up next and Haymaker is a hell of a combo on top of all the sync buffs we already got. This I should have expected this to do as much damage as it did. I just didn't. And well, she had her ice zone up on the blizzard. That's not good. So obviously got to set the hill with Cynthia. Had to pray she lived. She just barely did. Steven got frozen. It's as if this stage has hostile environment with the amount of times I've gotten frozen. It's actually funny. She might have hostile environment. I don't even remember, but holy crap, this stage is rough for sure. Just use Giovanni's buddy move to get some extra healing back in on Cynthia, so she's actually fine now. You know, there's a ton of healing on this team. That's one of the best things about it, obviously. And also, of course, Giovanni buffing the sync move up next. Now we've got ground and sand up for Cynthia. Her sync move is going to do a crap load of damage for sure. It's going to be nuts. Cynthia KOing the side here. Nice. Cool. Goodbye. Yeah. You haven't seen it in this team because I opted to just not deal with the problem. But if I would have ever missed attacking Dana, which would have been just attacking with Giovanni, considering Steven and Cynthia can't miss, at least Steven with his accuracy buffs can't miss, but if I would have missed, Dana would have healed up 20% of her HP, which would have been pretty bad. I don't think it would have been detrimental to my whole team's survivability. I think we would have won anyway. It wouldn't have been that big of an issue, I want to say, but it wouldn't have exactly been fun, right? So you really want to time, obviously, Giovanni's buddy moves to take those sync moves, those blizzards. Those are basically anything he can take for the most part. He can take a lot of attacks from the stage. He's one of the best supports for it, and against things that setting of the zone, it really helps him out. So if you can find another character that can like set the other two instances of zone, or like get rid of the ice zone, whatever, and obviously that entry set of weather, that's a very good combination to be able to take on this stage. The stage is so rough. Man, I don't know what they were thinking when designing this one. Accuracy debuffs on top of 3 sets of zone, on top of 1 set of weather, 2 if you actually can't KO the sides, on top of relentless blizzards, earthquakes, hyper beams, mega kicks. She does not have 1 weak move, man. It's actually insane. So thankfully, obviously, Arceus even best support in the game, but also doing a crap load of damage at the stage. I mean, that's why it's developed the way that they are. This is literally the first super counter to the ultimate, to like the Arc suits. Not counter to them, because obviously they're for it, but this is like the one stage that's like, okay, you really want to actually have the Arc suits to be able to take this on. Like, even, like, Morgan was not this bad. Morgan could actually be taken on pretty effectively without any of the Arc suit sync pairs. But this stage was definitely designed with them actually in mind, which is nuts. So, yeah, whatever. That's my thoughts on the Dana Ultimate battle and my battle against it. Again, not an impressive team by any means, obviously. I don't intend for it to be, but I just wanted to describe the battle, how difficult it is, and, well, of course, put some live footage out there, like, for on the field, you know, in the trenches, in order to give some people some advice to beating it. But, yeah, whatever. I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoyed. Good luck on the battle and all that stuff. And, yeah, I'll see you all later. Peace.